should sit right here. Yeah, that's better. Much better.
Good morning.
What's up, G?
How's it going?
Great show last night.
Shit, I had a blast.
You went jogging this morning?
I went for a little walk, did a couple of laps, and went over to the little workout room and did a couple circuits.
Right.
I'll have to show you that.
I'm gonna do 1,000 push-ups this morning.
Nice.
Well, when we go over to the pool, try to get 1,000 in. I ain't never did 1,000 straight, I don't think.
That's a workout and a half.
No doubt.
Yeah, I like push-ups. For multiple reasons.
Good morning,
There's not
people.
much in the workout room, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, they have an elliptical, they have a treadmill, they have a
Cable.
rowing machine, they have one cable stack. That's
A little jank.
a little janky, but it still gets the trick done. It like you can raise the thing up and down, so you can get a variety of.
Medicine ball.
I hit
Okay.
shoulders and I hit some flies and some stuff.
Good morning, people. Dun, dun, dun. Yep, 1,000 push-ups. How's your Ramadan going? Great. I got up this morning and ate. I've been cruising lately. This is day 13. He said, Dawn equals a waste of beauty 101. Y'all come in here and like this video. We're going to talk about it. Do-doom, do-doom, do-doom. Do-doom, do-doom. Where you at right now? I'm under a huge palm tree. Under a huge palm tree. I have just been making iftar, so I've been fasting for 23 hours. Incredible. Maybe I should push it to the limit today. It's looking good on me. Before I left in Pennsylvania, one of my homeboys came to see me and shit. He told me how good I was looking. He was talking about my skin complexion and shit. He didn't know that I stopped smoking weed though. But yeah, it's the fast. It's the detox process. He said, and you might catch a heart attack when you find out the black folks don't want you back. Jamie Moore says she was hotel hopping for 8 of those months. Her mind ain't right. I'm somebody who stayed in hotels. I was booked by Akon and Mark Curry in Atlanta some years ago. I was in hotels for maybe like it's about 4 months, 3-4 months, probably like 3 months, 90 days. I didn't want to go home. I don't know what type of hotel she was staying in, but I didn't want to go home, man. I got accustomed to that hotel lifestyle. I was loving it. So, did y'all see the interview with Don Robinson from In Vogue? I don't have time to take a poll of the age of everybody in this chat right now, but I got a lot to say about In Vogue. I do. Boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say about In Vogue. Let me close this screen and shit. Give y'all a little view of the condo. There's alligators over there. It's a sign that says beware the gators. I'm black. I'm respecting the gators. I'm respecting the warning. They ain't that Cynthia's boy. Like, don't expect me to do any jogging or anything like that. So, Yeah, we got to talk about Don Robinson. Now, for those in here who aren't familiar with En Vogue, I'm going to tell you a little story. Y'all ready? Growing up, I'm a 70s baby, late 70s, but I grew up in the 80s. Growing up in the early 80s, mid 80s, and shit like that, there was a couple of women that would test your young manhood. Yeah, there was a couple of women that would test your manhood as a kid. This is proof that little boys are attracted to grown women and will fuck a grown woman. When you see these stories of school teachers fucking little boys, they don't even know that a lot of times the little boy was actually witted like a motherfucker. I don't think that it's in my mind anyway. I don't really think that a woman can molest a boy. I don't. It might be inappropriate in some cultures and in some people's eyes, but I was one of them little boys. I was hoping some of my teachers fucked me. You know what I mean? When you see these boys who made babies with their teachers, and the teachers that was fucking little boys, they wasn't around when I was going to school. Some of us is with it, but the point I'm trying to make is, as a young guy, as a little boy, there was certain women, adult women, that kind of like tested you. They tested your erection. They would put an erection in your underoos as a little boy, and one was Coco Love, suck a dick. I would have fucked my teacher in a heartbeat. Um, One of them was Jackie Harry from 227. Jackie Harry, whenever I seen her, I knew what I wanted to do to her right away. And most guys my age had a thing with Jackie Harry. That's Sandra Clark from 227, right? And the others was In Vogue. In Vogue, the group In Vogue, um, incredible music videos, very, very high level of beauty and sexuality came from this group. Now, me having an older brother and an older sister, the music was, I was always hearing the music. I'm a big In Vogue fan. Lies, Hold On to Your Love, um, Never Gonna Get It, Living in the World of Ghetto Life. It's more. It's more. They had a boatload of hits, but they music videos, and whenever you got a chance to see them on TV, you just like, damn, God damn. They would just take your breath away. I'm talking about they were some bad motherfuckers, and they had hips and curves, and they was just the ultimate when it came to they weren't so much a girls group. They were a woman's group. They were women, bad motherfuckers. So Don Robinson is on social media, and Don Robinson was one of the members. The other one, her name was Cindy. I can't recall the third one's name. I think Cindy Heron. Didn't Cindy Heron play the adult woman in Juice that was fucking GQ? Wasn't that Cindy? That was Cindy, right? He said, "Yep." And you see that in GQ. I mean, in Juice, GQ was knocking her grown ass down. so, so me and GQ was thinking the same. But Don Robinson is making videos saying that she has been living out of her car for 3 years now. Me personally, I think it's virtually impossible. I think it's impossible because she's still cute. She's still pretty. And if you see her silky hair, she's still going to the hairdresser somewhere. Now, she might be living in her car, but she's going to a hairdresser. She's going to a hairdresser. Somebody's maintaining and managing her gorgeous hair. So she don't have she don't have homeless hair at all. Still very good looking, very good looking. And that alone will get you a place to stay. So the fact that she's been in her car for 3 years, I'm thinking that it has to be a form of mental health, or she might have a character defect of some type. I watched the video, and I must say that um, the things that she was saying in her facial expressions lead me to believe that she probably has some mental problems. The magnitude of who she is will get her some money. Mike Bowers, I appreciate the super chat. Um, the magnitude of who she is will get her some money. She's in a position that she could charge podcasts. She could charge podcasts to be on they shows, their stories, whatever. And people would pay that at the drop of a dime. This is a woman who was, in fact, an A-list celebrity. I think En Vogue might have won Grammys at a point in time. But there's no way someone of her magnitude can't get a place to stay. It don't make sense. She's too good looking. Don Robinson, sometimes when you have groups and if somebody in the group leaves and goes solo, or you start to see them by themselves as if they left the group almost. Because when Don Robinson stepped off, it appeared that she stepped off. She stepped off in the first place I seen her. I don't know if she officially said that she was going solo. I don't know if she got a solo project anywhere. But after En Vogue, the first place she popped up at that I could recollect was the Firm Biz video. Nondescript says she was the star. Okay, thank you. The person that's in a group that's the star, they might show their ass at some point. They might have a little David Ruffin in them. If you seen the movie The Temptations, Dawn could have had a bad attitude and might have had the David Ruffin shit with her and felt that she could go on and leave her group members. And that's probably what happened to En Vogue as a group. But yeah, she was the chick that was in the Firm Biz video with Nas and AZ when they came back as a firm. She was singing, "I'm talking Firm Biz to you, baby." That was her. And she was in the video looking delicious. And after that, she went to a group called Lucy Pearl with, man, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all keep talking this Rose shit. Rose is fat. I got muscles. And Rose ain't got this big ass cable. He got a few, but he ain't got this one. The fuck is wrong with y'all, man? I just posted a picture of me on Instagram this morning, man. The 100 push-up a day regimen is in effect. Rose got titties, man. Y'all see a nigga ball with palm trees? Y'all lose y'all goddamn mind. I was on the Haitian Jack Speaks with this same bald head in these same Porsche frames. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Goddamn. Kill that shit, man. That shit corny. Rose's a fat nigga with titties and shit. I ain't fat. Anyway, he said, I'm gonna turn my moderators loose on y'all. That's the problem. It ain't enough moderators in here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. Let me see who else need a wrench. I need to pass out of. I see that's the problem. It ain't enough wrenches in here this morning. Motherfuckers done lost your mind, man. Hold on, Trey. All right, we got wrenches in here. Y'all with them wrenches, y'all know what to do. I haven't given out wrenches in a minute. But boom, getting back on topic. Don Robinson left En Vogue. She was singing as a solo artist. She might have been associated with AZ some type of way along the line. I'm not sure. I think she might have been dealing with AZ on some type of level. I don't know. But after that, Lucy Pearl, that was a group that she was in with Raphael Sadiq. And they had some jams and shit. If somebody can remember Lucy Pearl's jams, I forget. They had a couple of joints. And after that, Lucy Pearl, I believe, disbanded. But I'm hearing from a lot of people that she was a problem in Vogue. And after that, she was a problem in Lucy Pearl. And I'm getting Diva vibes. I'm getting that Don might not have been a very nice person. If you keep having conflict with your bandmates and shit like that, it might be you. Now she's living out of her vehicle, she says, for 3 years. That's a very, very long time for a woman that looked that good to be living in a car. And I noticed something when I was living in Cali. You got homeless people, you got people that live in vans and shit like that. And I learned that some of those people want to be there. Some of those homeless people that you see on Skid Row when you in Los Angeles, or you see down on Imperial when you in San Diego, some of those people have families and have places that they can go. But some of them want to be there. Some of them want to be there. I guess they comfortable there. I don't know. I could never be comfortable there. But some of them, they be wanting to be there. Some people says her first mistake was going to L.A. She should have went south or stayed in Vegas. I seen somebody say that in my comments on Instagram, and I believe that her going to L.A. wasn't a bad idea for somebody who's as good looking as her. She could have got some play as a model, as a musician, and on in film. Is something that she's done wrong or something going on with her upstairs that she ain't been able to execute. She could get on social media and create a page. I don't know if she has her own page. I believe I seen the live stream. Somebody shared it to Twitter or something like that. She can just do the fucking podcast circuit, man. She would bounce from podcast to podcast like you see a lot of these people do. And she'll make money like that. She'll make enough money to get her enough money to get a lease for a house for a year, an apartment. She could lease an apartment or a house for a year and start operating out of there until she get back right. She already has a vehicle, so that means she has transportation. It's just it's not making sense. And me, as a man, I believe this, that no matter what most women say out their mouth, all women know that, especially good-looking women, they know that if it get rough, they can get some money and a place to stay at the drop of a hat. I'm talking about in an instance. All women know this. All women know this, that they can get some money and a place to stay at the drop of a hat because they sitting on a money maker. They sitting on a money maker, and wherever Don goes, any man that's heterosexual will welcome her into their house. Period. Damn near no questions asked. You know what I'm saying? It was niggas in my comments like, shit, she could come stay with me right now. Like, and I believe that applies universally. Wherever she's at, she can get a place to stay, but she's in her car and is telling me that she, for some reason, looking at Dawn and listening to her, she started to remind me of Maya Campbell. Y'all remember Maya Campbell? Slick says you look wealthy. I am wealthy. I'm on my 13th day of a fast. I'm doing 100 push-ups a day minimum, plus working out in the gym. My skin is clear, and everything's gonna be all right. That's wealthy. When you wake up in the morning and you ain't got no ailments and shit like that, you got some food to eat, you got a roof over your head, that's wealthy. Don't always associate wealth with with material items and shit. It's people that have lots of money that's broke. Don't ever forget that. We talking about somebody who might be broken right now. That's Don Robinson from En Vogue. So, just be mindful of what you value in life and shit. A breath of fresh air, that's wealthy. I be telling my man at the gym, I got a little homie to work out with me at the gym, and I be telling him, I name guys amongst us that's dead. Come on, man, you could do another lap around the track, man. Such and such is dead. You can do another push up. Such and such is dead. Them niggas is dead. Them niggas ain't here no more. While you here, put some emphasis on your health, man. The first step, the most important thing you did this morning was you showed up. Now we got to work, man. 45 minutes to an hour, we got to work. Let's get in here and work, man, because this nigga's just dead. You know what I'm saying? I can't get another shot. But if you here, you can eat right, you can exercise, you can rest, you can fast, you can do everything in your power to extend it. So, um, getting back to Maya Campbell. Maya Campbell was what was her mother's name? Maya Campbell's mom is famous. I think she passed away a couple of years ago. Help me out. What was Maya Campbell's mother's name? Somebody, anybody. Her mother was I think a poet or an author. He said, Bell Hooks. Nah, that's not what I'm looking for. Somebody gonna say it and shit. I remember Maya was in Atlanta when I was down there doing bad. It was so sad, very sad. She was breathtaking on In the House. And when Maya was on film, it was on World Star back in the day talking. That shit really, really bothered me. But looking at Don Robinson, she eerily reminds me of the condition that Maya Campbell was in. Whatever the case, her her hair is gorgeous. Her hair is beautiful, and she's still beautiful. And I don't think that the predicament that she's in, I don't think that that just happened. I think it had to be some things that she did. B.B. Moore Campbell. Thank you, thank you. He said no royalties at all. Nah, this is something that we need to acknowledge about the entertainment business, the music business, and film and television. The the performers, I think for some time now, especially black performers, was paid with popularity. I remember when the IRS was taking Red Fox's shit, carting it off, taking all of his personal items and shit, and he was on TV like, "Yo, man, if anybody could help me, man, it'd be." He was panicking. They was taking this shit on camera. It was on TV. It might have been on Entertainment Tonight or something like that. But we've seen entertainers experience hardship. I don't know if it's because they get trained to live above their means, they get accustomed to living above their means, and they blow their fortune. But it seems like black people have been paid with popularity. It does. It seems that way, man. Because we see too many stories of people. Tachina Arnold just put a video out or a story out on Instagram, and she was talking about how she gets pennies for the Martin Lawrence show. She get checks for pennies, 12-cent checks from the Martin Lawrence show. Somebody else showed a check that they got from a really, really big show. And you wouldn't even, you like, damn, how does that happen? How does that happen? It's because it wasn't fair to begin with. It couldn't have been. It wasn't fair to begin with. And I'll tell you something else. Black people need to get on the other side of the camera because as you see, Tyler Perry ain't having no problems. 50 Cent ain't having no, they not having those problems. Byron Allen, he's not having those problems. It seems like the producers, the curators, the writers, all of the money and fortune is on that end. It's in the executive boardrooms and shit like that. The actual performer, you're being paid with popularity. You know, when you walk through an airport and everybody wants a picture and shit like that. And when you out in public, everybody's acknowledging you, want an autograph and a picture. That's your payment. Whereas the people that got the real money, the executive producers, the writers, they can walk in the room and nobody gonna say nothing to them. Nobody even know a big dog just walked into the room. So we gotta reverse the roles and start getting into the corporate end of the deal because you had these situations like you seeing with Don Robinson. And the fact that Dawn is viral right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people is going to try to find her and help her. But you can't help a person that can't help themselves. The world and its desires passes away. Look at Dame Dash. He's finally admitting he's broke. Yeah, his teeth came out of his mouth on camera. If that wasn't an indication that something is wrong with living above your means, Dame Dash is a perfect example. He said, En Vogue was signed to a production deal, split 5 ways. Good luck with that. But she went solo, I believe, and she was performing with Lucy Pearl, and she was also singing hooks and shit like that. It just don't make sense. It don't make sense. The magnitude of this lady, she was too far up the totem pole to be on social media right now saying that she's been living out of her car for 3 years. That's 36 months, man. That's a long time to be living in a goddamn vehicle. It makes you say, hey, where's Cindy at? Her group mates. That tells me something about her relationship with these people. Where's Raphael Sadiq? Somebody else that was in a group with her. Sound like somebody might have burnt some bridges or something. She did something wrong. She said Raphael gave her a bad contract for Lucy Pearl. Same thing with actors. The entertainers we see are the product of the people who put them there. Artists need to invest in good investments. We see celebrities go broke when they get older. The industry suck everything out of you mentally, physically, and definitely emotionally, and they don't care. Professional bridge burners living in denial. If you can't leverage your fame for fortune, it's pointless. She needs a manager. She says she showers at the gym. So if she's going to the gym and she's still functional, it's just something ain't making sense at all. It don't. She's leaving some parts out, for real. She left the reality show after 1 season. It went on for like 4 seasons. R&B Divas. Terry Ellis is still fine as hell. Terry was one of the other members. He said, ask Little Meech. It's starting to come out that Little Meech blew that money, man, on shopping and getting high and shit. 50 Cent said he had to put him in rehab. Fooling his money was still part. Lord Superb told me this a long time ago. Rest in peace to him. He said, when you broke, you only drinking a little bottle of dust. I mean, you only smoking a little, you only getting the little bottles of dust. He used to smoke angel dust. That's wet. He said, when you broke, you only getting the little bottles of dust. He said, as soon as you get some money, you can buy a quart. You can buy a gallon of dust. You can smoke a whole gallon of dust. And I said, God damn. So, whatever vices you have, they probably become more extreme once you get more money. And you go from dealing with a little monkey on your back to a huge monkey on your back. Yeah. She probably exaggerating and just broke, but not actually living out of her car. You see how DMX was. Yeah. Yeah. The rest of the group just did a show in Detroit on Valentine's Day. Cleveland Mac, what up? She need to get down with the group, man. It ain't nothing wrong with apologizing and shit. Those are her sisters. I'm pretty sure they'll take her back, depending on whether or not she showed her ass to them when she went solo. Because, as somebody else said earlier on in this discussion, she was the star in the group, and ain't no telling how she treated them. The Temptations, he ended up kicking David Ruffin out the group. Like, if you become a cancer, you gotta go. And I just got to say that En Vogue got enough songs that they can pack house. En Vogue can pack house. En Vogue can go on tour. But of course you will need all of them. But En Vogue can go on tour. En Vogue can go to Atlanta and get busy. Detroit, busy. Chicago, busy. St. Louis, Kansas City, Oakland. En Vogue can go to all of these spots and get it the fuck on. And not only that, En Vogue can call all the top R&B people of that day, that era, Keith Sweat, just whoever you could imagine. Anybody you could imagine, they can call them and say, yo, let's go do some shows, man. Y'all down? They gonna say, hell yeah. You know why? Because En Vogue gonna bring them high-heel divas out. When them divas come out, the niggas with the alligator shoes and the ostriches and shit come out. The Coogee sweaters, they all come out. Straight up. Cut Close, Total. Look at New Edition. My family knows Bobby Brown, and look at them, too. They always went against Bobby, even here in Boston. They were shady. Keith Sweat still gets to a bag. Every member of En Vogue is still fine to this day. Dawn stated that she was living out the car by choice. She was inspired by people living out of the car. I still thought that she was leaving something out of it. Because if she wasn't, she would be somewhere performing still. Dawn just had a desire to pursue a solo career, and obviously that didn't pan out the way she thought or hoped it would. So you think when she went solo, she turned her back on the group? Because En Vogue, when she left, you never really seen them performing, or they didn't continue to do music. They didn't. She might be an oddball. Eccentric, Martin Jones, what up? She might be practicing financial discipline. That chick ain't living in her car. She trolling for attention. It was women in the comments that was like, man, I don't know if she living in a car or not, but her hair sure is long and silky. She going to a hairdresser regularly. You know what I'm saying? She going to a hairdresser regularly, and the way that her hair hung, I believe that it was real. I don't think that she's wearing those pieces. Like, you know how a lot of chicks be wearing them hair pieces, wigs and shit like that. She struck me as all natural. Latasha from Escape is broke too now, allegedly, and her husband was stealing money from the group. Did you see the video of Keith Sweat bringing Alpo's girl on stage? Hilarious. Someone in the chat was like, he don't know he about to get murked. How you know it was Alpo girl? Poe slapped him about that chick. If that's the same chick, Alpo slapped him across his face. I think the problems with En Vogue began back in '97, and it all started going downhill ever since. That's when she showed up singing the Firm Biz hook. Twill says she always had hair. That was definitely her hair. Her shit wasn't stiff. The writers, producers, executives, and managers made all the money. All she has is a face and a voice, no royalties. If she has a face, and she still does, if she has a voice, I can't determine whether or not she still has a voice. But she has a face and she has silky black hair. She got a shot. She do. Alpo chased him through the projects. Nope, that's not what happened. Bring Bryce Wilson from Groove Theory on to speak on the financial side of the industry. That ain't what happened. I'll tell you what happened. It was told directly to me. Alpo was riding around. He was beefing with the chick. He was riding around doing his thing in Harlem, and somebody pulled up on him and told him that I just seen your girl with Keith. And he like, for real? So he said he started riding through Harlem, through all the hot spot areas to see if he could bump into Keith. Said he seen him. I told this story before. He seen him. He hopped out the car and was like, "Bitch, what do you think you doing? Bitches, you crazy?" No, I don't play that shit. And he slapped Keith. Nigga, you know better. Slapped him. Keith had a bodyguard with him. And Keith looked at the bodyguard. And Alpo said he looked at the bodyguard. And the bodyguard told Keith, man, yo, you gonna have to eat that. That's what happened. Caleb Jeremiah said, wanna be Rick Ross. How the fuck can I wanna be a fat nigga? Do I need to take this robe off? How can I wanna be a fat nigga? Rick Ross has titties. I have a physique. I'm shredded. I don't understand. I had on these same Porsche frames in the Haitian Jack Speaks documentary when Rick Ross called in. He was recorded on the Haitian Jack Speaks. And y'all didn't say I looked like Rick Ross there. It's the palm trees. I get it. It's the palm trees in the bathrobe. I understand. I just want you to know this, right? Long before Rick Ross became who y'all know him to be when he was a fat correctional officer, because there's pictures of him as a fat correctional officer, I was flossing. I was already flossing. Everything that you see here, the diamonds, the truck jewelry, I was already on it when Rick Ross was still a cop. So in all reality, Rick Ross trying to be like me. That's the truth. That's the truth. Rick Ross rap about hustling and shit like that. But he wasn't hustling when he was a turnkey, when he was a correctional officer. Me, y'all know my story. I grew up hustling. I even got the convictions to match. That's something they kind of go together for people that profess to live a certain lifestyle. Tell people about the convictions, the juries, the commissary, the incarceration. That part is left out of Rick Ross's story. So you know that he's making that shit up. He's an entertainer. Yeah. He said you didn't have to call him a cop. He was. It's not no secret. This shit. I wasn't dissing him. It was somebody got on one of these platforms and said he became a CO because a booby was in jail and shit. Like it was like a strategy or something like that. But nah, you got it wrong. Rick Ross, when you see Rick Ross be doing the dribble. He be trying to be like me. Don't ever forget that. Rick Ross wasn't wearing no jewelry in high school. He wasn't running around with knots in his pocket, 14, 15, 16, shit like that. He wasn't. Boom, 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 boom. That's facts. He did it for Booby. Yeah, I heard somebody said that. Is hustling compatible with morality? To answer your question, when it comes to somebody like me, absolutely. You know why? Because I went through the whole circuit of hustling. I started out selling bean pies, incense, and oils, the clean and fresh cosmetic line. Now, when somebody says the clean and fresh cosmetic line, that gives you an idea about their history with the Nation of Islam. The clean and fresh cosmetic line was the Nation of Islam's first business venture after the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, which ended up being called The Final Call. It was deodorant, lotion, shampoo, and conditioner. We had 4 products. And this was in the early 80s when the black organizations, the black organizations was flexing their muscle when it comes to commerce. This is back when Yahweh ben Yahweh went to Florida and took that shit over, and they had their own grocery stores, their own laundromats, their own trucking companies and shit like that. All of that type of shit, that's in my bloodline. So to answer your question about the hustling, I started hustling as a kid because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the followers of his doctrine to do for self, at which point they put the Final Call newspapers in my hand. They put the bean pies in my hand. They put the carrot cake in my hand. They put the bean soup in my hand. And they said, you a mighty young black man. Going out there and get you some money. So that's where it started at. So, yeah, go to your favorite hustler and try to determine, is he really a hustler or is he a drug dealer? Because it's a difference. It's a difference. My hustler expertise, it continued to flourish even as an adult. That's why you see the PA knit dynasty that I built and the crochet hats that's selling worldwide. You see that. You see the fashion bomb, couture, clothing brand. It flourished. You see my documentaries, Haitian Jack Speaks, Murder Unit, Gully TV Media. You see my websites, therealdribble.com, pa-knit.com. That's 2 websites. You see my book. You see I'm on my 3rd album right now. I'm starting to sound like a lot more than a hustler. I'm starting to sound like a tycoon. And that's what I am for real. I'm a black tycoon. You know what I'm saying? So when you see me take a break and step out of my office and you see the palm trees and shit like that, don't be disturbed. You too can be a prolific hustler. You too can get your dribble right. And I've been telling y'all this the whole time. Get your dribble right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Don't forget the DoorDash. Don't forget the DoorDash and this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black mogul, own it company and still cooking. That's what's up, man. Keep up the good work. Antonio Anderson, what's up? Keep up the good work, man. To all of the tycoons in the making, man, the world is yours. We still live in the greatest country in the world. This is the only country in the world you can wake up in the morning and turn tycoon by the end of the week. Remember that. This is America and shit. Information technology. Good afternoon, everybody. It's still Ramadan. We just big chilling, man. Condo shit. Just chilling, man. That's all. You see the palm trees reflecting off of the porch frames. You see the PILLMATIC 3 on the way, man. Straight up. Shout out to Zip with the Drip. I got a verse from Zip the other night. It's all coming together. We gonna do it again. How did you get down here? I flew. I know I said that I wasn't gonna fly. Y'all see me take the train to Colorado, but I flew. This trip was planned for some time now though. Dude, you keep calling Dame broke. Have you seen the furniture and curtains in your house? You been in my house before? You just compared furniture and curtains to a man's teeth. Now you tell me, how often do you see someone's curtains and how often do you see someone's teeth? You see a man's teeth everywhere that he goes. You do. Especially if you talk a lot like Dame Dash. It was in his best interest to invest in some teeth before curtains. Or it's going to be curtains for you. Boom, boom. Glow Chago, you gotta Geo, you gotta rearrange that. He said, wanna be tough guy. Y'all get real disturbed by success, don't y'all? I lost over 72K in 2021 and came back harder. Pull up champ, keep up the good work. If we are in a hologram, teeth don't matter. How you gonna eat without your teeth? You can't eat an apple with no teeth. This nigga just tried to downplay having good teeth. What the fuck? What's wrong, man? I told y'all, man, mental health it's really bad, man. I think it's getting worse in America and shit. You are inspirational. Thank you. Just keep up the good work, man. Persistence and shit. Focus and persistence. I tuned in late. I just saw that shit about Don yesterday. I was blown. Yeah. Jeremy said my mentality is past yours. Good for you, Jeremy. Keep rising to the top. That's great. Ross told 50 that he might buy 50's Masters. That would be the biggest flex and would shut 50 Cent's mouth. The health of your mouth is an indicator about the health in your body. That's probably why dope fiends' teeth and shit get to falling out. Sandy, good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. I slept in this morning. Gully helped me put the weed down. Life is better now. Jeremy said, why we always gotta bash others? Jeremy, suck a dick. That's beyond bashing. That's disrespect. Now I'm kicking you out this motherfucking chat because you's an insecure nigga. Ain't nothing worse than an insecure nigga, man. An insecure nigga and a bum nigga, they kind of like the same, cut from the same fabric. You can't fix them niggas and shit. It's a mental condition. It's often passed down genetically. Yeah. When you hear someone speaking of their hard work and success and shit, that don't mean that they're speaking down to you. You should feel bad. I mean, you need to get your dribble right. That's it. Advice to be successful: consistency. Consistency. If you consistent at anything, you're gonna get some progress. If you do anything every day, it's gonna progress. It could progress positively or it could progress negatively. But if you're doing something positive every day, you're gonna experience progression. You're gonna see a difference. The wheels are gonna start to turn in your favor. Niggas don't like dudes winning. People rather the bullshit. I get a lot of gems from you. Thank you. These niggas not considering that I've been Gully TV since 2004. Anything that I got right now is a indicator of persistence and consistency. I kept going. I just ran off the resume. I just kept going. I just kept curating. I just kept working. You must have rode on a slow bus because Ross has a net worth of 150 million. Good for them. I find it retarded when others try to compete with me, but I'm competing with myself. They not even in the rear view. Nah, the purpose-driven wear blinders and shit. We don't be looking at those around us. We be looking straight ahead and pushing. Yeah, a lot of that comes from it's when speaking of black people, right? A lot of it is rampant, in our communities. But Zip with the Drip made a great point the other day. He said, you can't say that's nigga shit because Italians will tell you that they got their shit going on. Puerto Ricans will tell you they got their crabs in the barrel. Whites will tell you they got their crabs in the barrel and shit. So it's jealousy, envy and shit. That shit is present in all communities. Niggas just happen to kill you for it. But I believe other nationalities will kill each other for it too. I make money in my sleep, so when I'm awake, I can live good. That's how you achieve things in life, being consistent. Correct, 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 correct. Correct, 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 correct. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Go watch my new interview with Big Dubes from the Sporty Thieves. Shout out to Big Dubes. Dubes told me that he had been trying to get his story off for some time now. And when he reached out to certain media outlets, they wasn't giving him no rhythm. They didn't think that his story was worthy of anything. That's something that I've been able to capitalize on for years. People be trying to tell the popular story and shit, but if someone is a integral part of the hip hop art form, then their story is official. Their story is relevant and shit. That's why you see guys like Percy P on his channel, Busy B. It ain't no big eyes and little U's and this shit. Everybody contributed to making it what it is today. But they wasn't checking for him. They wasn't trying to hear. I'm glad I ended up getting him. And I hope y'all go enjoy the interview where he revealed it. It was Funk Master Flex's idea to rebuttal TLC song No Scrubs. Yeah, these niggas is in here arguing about how much money Rick Ross got. Mike Bowers, thank you for your super chat. Black people like to cheerlead instead of succeed. Get your bag up. Would love your opinion on Dr. Umar's daughter. She's hilarious. The wives know what's going on. When you look at her eyes, you can tell she shot out. She's from Philly. Not that all people from Philly shot out. They just, some of them are different, kind of radical and shit. Not all, some. She's a female from Philly. She told you, look at all these views I got. I need 3,500 to 10 G's for an interview and shit. She wasn't trying to get close to her father. She wasn't trying to repair her relationship with her father. She was trying to go viral, and she did. And she now thinks she's a celebrity. She said it. She said it in one of her videos and shit. I think the video was she talking about her camel toe. She a scammer like her daddy and shit. She wants attention. I want to know if TLC reached out to them after the response. I asked him that. He said at the time they didn't. He said later they acknowledged it. I believe there's a TLC documentary where they speak. Yeah, he said it's a TLC documentary where they speak about no scrubs and no pigeons. So they got the acknowledgement. Tommy Sotomayor dissed her. I already interviewed Ed Booger Smith, man. It was hectic. Is it possible to start putting those zip code episodes on your podcast? That's a good idea. I have to figure out how to download the videos, which are live streams from YouTube. And once I download them to a MP4, I can convert them to an MP3 and upload them to the podcast. Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't know how the audio will sound, though, being as though we on a live stream. Mm, mm, mm. What you think about Dr. Bull? I don't know who that is. Good afternoon, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Super chats, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. You and Zip would make a great podcast. Tommy is a nut. Tommy Sotomayor was one of the early guys that got popping on YouTube and made a lot of money with them headphones and shit. I enjoy watching you and Zip over Cam and Mace. Me and Zip got so many more dimensions than everybody else that's doing this. And that's no diss to nobody, but if you listen to our last episode, we was talking about the sins of the child being visited upon the father, and talking about Bible scripture, and then was able to cross over and go into talking about sports and all types of shit like that. Drink champs can't do that. It is what it is, can't do that. $1 million worth of game can't do that. They can't touch us. They can't, for real. And I got a lot of messages about that portion of the discussion. It's like, man, y'all be kicking that shit, man. Like, y'all, that whole discussion about sins of the father being visited upon the child told me a lot about the both of y'all and shit. Word. He said, you putting the helmet on for Zip is for Zip bullshit is a classic. I thought that up. I came up with that. I came up with that, man, a while ago. I did a live stream with him. I put on a football helmet. Like, why you got the helmet on, man? I'm like, man, this nigga rough around the edges, man. Like, you need equipment coming in here fucking with this nigga. This nigga's a Bengal tiger, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He got that energy, man. You gotta be prepared and shit. When we having those discussions, you get to pick your side, man. Whose point of view you feeling, his or mine and shit, man. Like, it's like a battle and shit. Siskel and Ebert. It's called duality. said the Zip say had me looking for a helmet. A nigga told me that he be at home with his wife sometime and she'll get to going. He said, man, I'm gonna have to buy me a football helmet for this broad. He said, I'm gonna have to buy me a football helmet. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at I am Gully TV _ and go to my website and get merched up, therealdribble.com. PILLMATIC 3 on the way, man. Shout out to Ito, Roscoe Pico Chain, Iborn, Zip with the Drip, Illa G, Tom Giss. Everybody, it's forming. It's forming like Voltron. We almost there. Gully, that dialogue with you and Zip was thought invoking, food for thought. Good shit. Thank you. Y'all liked the video, man. It was about 400 people here just a second ago. What you think about Eminem? I'm not Eminem's biggest supporter. I'm not. Everybody know that though. I'm not Eminem's biggest supporter. There's others. Eminem, it needs to be said at times, he's not amongst the greatest. He's not amongst the top five conversations and shit like that. In no way, shape, form, or fashion should he ever be included in those conversations. There's greats, I'm talking about dinosaurs that get excluded from the conversations. When somebody speak a top five, they might leave LL Cool J out. They might leave Run from Run DMC out. They might leave Scarface out. It's subjective, but a lot of greats get left out. They might leave Google from Gangstar out, and that's a sin. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that don't got Google in the top five conversation, I don't know. He said LL top five. Certain people that LL started that GOAT thing, that greatest of all time. LL started that. He did. You gotta. He battled a lot of niggas, man. He did a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't old enough to remember Cool Mo D and Ice T and Steady B battle, you seen what happened with him and Cannabis. He with it. You know what I'm saying? They always put him in the conversation of the top MCs, and I don't see why. He nice, but he ain't in the top five. Nah, he said, what about Snoop? Snoop admitted to having a ghostwriter. That you get excommunicated from the discussion for that. Chuck D, don't forget Chuck D, don't forget KRS. Yeah, I never could understand how some of these artists be co-signing that bullshit rhetoric. A lot of them dudes was, Rakim said it out of his mouth. A lot of them dudes was trying to talk their way up on an opportunity. When Rakim said he alienated the shit out of me, I'm like, Ra, how could you say some shit like that? Like we selected you as the top nigga and shit. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? M's pen is sharp, very crafty, but who relates to killing their mother? He would be like an honorable mention. Black Thought, Most Def, AZ can't still be alive, and people mention Eminem. Zach Randolph was real good. It's a documentary out called The Grind Father about Tony Allen. Check that joint out. He said, I feel like Rakim was the D-boy rapper. People associated him with the D-boy rapper because of his image, but he was actually one of the first 5% rappers. They measure me with the heat that's made by solar. With knowledge of self, there's nothing I can't solve. At 360 degrees, I revolve. It's an actual fact. That's all 5% knowledge. That's all 5% wisdom. OKC spanked the Celtics last night. Joe Mule, peace, Gully, laid up in that good weather, my man. Yeah, I needed a break. I was in the snow for about the last. Y'all seen my live stream from that snowstorm? Yeah, peace to the gods up in here, yo. And peace to those who don't know that they God. Yeah. I gotta take care of a few things. I got a couple of interviews coming. Make sure y'all stay tuned to Gully TV, man. Y'all, the internet has been flooded with a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of low vibrational content, man. When you come here, you get hip hop, sports, fashion, wellness, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And if you with that, make sure that you tune into the Dribble podcast, available on all streaming sites. PILLMATIC 3 on the way. Follow me on Instagram at I am Gully TV _. And on Twitter, I'm Gully TV1. Follow me, I follow back. I gotta go. Y'all have a great afternoon. Peace.